Okay, sometimes you have a scratch on steel. Buckles, spurs, things like that, they'll have a scratch. And you need to, instead of sanding that down and causing a divot, you would want to fill that scratch. Or maybe it's a weld that you've welded up and a hole has appeared after you buffed it, and you think, no, if I weld it again, I'm going to have to do all this sanding over again. Well, you can always have the option of inlaying steel. And you inlay steel with wire like this. This is a annealed iron wire, 24 gauge. I bought this years ago, drygulch.com, and it's a roll of 50 feet. It's a annealed iron wire. But if you don't have that, Johnny Wires taught me you can use bread wrapper. It's the same wire, and it's a annealed wire, and it will inlay just fine. And I've used this several times, and it does work good. In fact, sometimes it works a little better, I think. So anyway, I'm going to show the process of doing this. Okay, what you want to do first is you want to get a graver, a flat graver that's about the thickness of your wire, but yet it will cover your scratch. And this is what I've got here. Now this was a number 37, but I ground it down to fit the width of my wire. And you just cut over the scratch to make a bed for the wire. You want it to go down deep enough for the wire, but you want your wire sitting up out of it just a little bit. Okay, that will work. Now on the ends, you want to take your flat graver and chisel in some ends, make it squared off. Okay. Okay, now we're going to undercut the ledges of the bed that we cut, and to do that I've got a flat graver that I've beveled off the bottom so it don't hit the sides, and then a sharp chisel point on the top. And you just want to undercut the sides like a bank, a river bank. Okay, and on the ends, I use that same narrowed down graver that I cut the bed with, and I undercut the ends. Okay, and then we're going to put some little hooks in the bottom of the channel. And you can do that with a narrowed down square graver or a punch. My square graver is pretty small. In fact, I've got a smaller one, I think. Now, I think I'll use this one here. You just want to turn up some fish hooks. The fish hooks on this side are going that way, the hook going up that way, and then I turn it around for the other half, excuse me, and I turn up fish hooks going that direction. Okay, to inlay the wire, we're going to use the brass punch with squared off end. And I take the bread wrapper and okay, what we're doing is we're just hammering them ledges down over the wire. Okay, I hammered it all in there until I cut the wire off at the end, and I'm going to finish hammering it all smooth. Okay, it's nice and smooth. Then I'll sand it off for you so you can see the result. Okay, that's where it was, and you can see it's virtually disappeared. Now the one on the left there that you see, that was some practice I had done, and my valley was too wide for the wire, and you can see what happens when you do that. It leaves a scratch still because you didn't fill the valley with the wire completely. The wire was a little bit too narrow. I had the wrong engraver to cut the bed with, but this bed was perfect. And after this piece is sanded up and nice, which this is just a practice piece, but you can see the steel has the scratch has virtually disappeared, and your inlay is pretty much invisible. Hey, I hope y'all found this useful. Just trying to show you a way that you can fix those pits and scratches in your steel, spurs, buckles, whatever, and not have to go to a lot of re-welding and filling and grinding and all that. It's a very useful tool to be able to do that, and you don't have to have that annealed wire. You can just use the bread wrappers as the way I showed you here. Okay, please like and subscribe to my channel. I'd really appreciate it, and I'll try to keep the videos coming to help you folks out. See you later.